Adulting doesn't require certainty. It requires consistency. Before I start, can I have your permission to ask you some questions? Yes. Who is in their 20s? Can I see your hands? Wow, young spirits. Who is not in their 20s? Could you proudly raise out your hands? Woo! Let's go. Good. May I ask who is in the process of becoming an adult? Thank you so much. Dear explorers of adulthood, what is the beauty of adulting struggles? Let me explain a bit. Adulting is a process of becoming an adult, where you start to think like an adult, act like an adult, and behave like an adult. And the struggles? As a soon-to-be graduate, some of us might struggle and ask these questions. What should I do with my future? What is my purpose in this world? And how can I find my calling? And beauty, here is it. I'm just kidding. Now, let me take you through on a journey. 3 months ago, I just graduated from Monash and landed my first job in a big MNC. I'm so excited, my mom said. Me too, my dad added. Yeah, I'm excited, but more nervous. So on the first day, when I step into my company's lobby, I feel a cold breeze of aircon brush through my skin. I smell a strong Dettol, and I was flashed by the white, shiny, polished floor. As my HR was bringing me to my department, do you know what I saw? I saw people. I saw people glued to their screens. I saw people shouting on their phones. And I saw people standing in a circle like Avengers trying to solve a problem. And the most interesting part, I saw people eating free snacks and drinking free coffee in the pantry. And I said, yes, I'm in. Then, that was a fully immersive experience that called corporate life. Then I met my senior who was going to hand over her task to me. That day was 30 June 2025. It was the last day of the month. My senior told me that it is the busiest day of the month and everything has to be settled by 11:59 p.m. In my mind, I was like, oh no, I came in the wrong timing. She told me some simple tasks that needed to be done that day and let me try to do it. I was confused. I don't know what to do. But I just keep up with the pace and just do whatever I was told to do. I was focused, yet confused and stressed out by the unfamiliarity and the sudden deadline. When I see the clock, 6 p.m., I thought I could go. But my senior swiped in and said, hey Rushan, might need you to stay back a bit because 11:59 p.m., we haven't got things done. I was like, okay. The next day, with much less excitement, I put down my bag on the table and tried to drag my laptop on the table. And I heard my name. Rushan, why is it not completed yet? Uh-oh, this is not good. Before I realized it, I was standing there, being scolded by my boss, loudly and intensely. because I didn't get my job done. At that moment, I started to question myself. What if I keep doing things wrong? What if I never catch up? What if I fail? What if? Why don't I just quit when I just get started and when things are easier? But something inside me told me to stay. So I stayed. With the stress and the possibility of being lectured again, I stayed fearful and struggled to keep up with the task. During that period, I doubt myself a lot. Is this something I like? Am I going to enjoy this work? How can it possibly benefit my future career? I was lost, not knowing what to do, and questioned my own decisions. Dear explorers of adulthood, have you ever gotten this feeling? As some of you might be graduating soon, you might find yourself standing in front of a crossroad, paralyzed by the fact that you didn't know which of the things might work out in your life. So, this is what I do. That day, I talked to my mom. She is always the one who solved my anxiety, but most of the time, she's also the one who started it. I remember that day, I was telling her about my whole situations, how tired I felt mentally and physically every single day. She was listening. But I know she was secretly judging me because she had this face on her look. She looked into my eyes, and I know exactly what she wanted to say. Do you know back then when you want to go to school, how far we need to travel? I guess all of you know the answer. Yeah, climb the mountain, cross the river, walk 10 km just to reach school. And John, just be grateful if you can find one. You're just too fragile and problematic. I thought she was going to say that, but that time she didn't. She was listening. She looked into my eyes and she said this. My dear, you are having a gap. You are growing into an adult. This might be the struggle you are facing, but you are adapting. You're not stepping foot into a whole new life phase. Of course, everything will be different. People around you, environment you are in, even here and here are changing. So be patient and allow yourself some time to grow and adapt. What if I told you that adulting doesn't require certainty? It requires consistency. So that night, something shifted in me. I wrote down what she said and thought further about what could we possibly do. And I came out with this framework. There is a classic study in psychology called the GEM experiment by Sheena Iyengar, stating that grocery store is a great place to understand how people make choices. Let me ask you a question. Are you uncertain about what you should do in the future? Good, thank you. So this GEM experiment is inspired by Sheena Iyengar. Let's imagine us in the grocery store. And let me localize jam into yogurt. Imagine this with me. You are now walking into a grocery store and you see few booths setting up for sample testing. As you walk further into the grocery store, you see 2 yogurt booths, just like what I showed here. One is offering 6 flavors of yogurt and another one offering 24 flavors of yogurt. Which booth would you choose? Anyone would choose 6 flavors? 24 flavors. Okay, we got a half-half. This study states that I know a lot of person might choose 24 flavors or 6 flavors. The key finding of this study was that people who visited the 24 flavors booth, this attracted more attention but resulted in fewer buyers. In contrast, people who visited the 6 flavors booth were able to decide which yogurt was for them and end up 30% leaving the store with jam or yogurt in their hands. Dear explorers of adulthood, this applies to our life as well. When we have too many choices, when we are being told we can do everything in our life, when we start to fit everything in our schedule, we become overwhelmed. Then we will start to drop out or quitting instead. Each of the yogurts represents yourself and your reflection on your past, present, and desired future. Choices of your life is like laying this yogurt on the table and pick the best for yourself. So, allow me to help you to list out your life's best choices. Are you ready? Yes. All right. Before I start and give you some tips, I want you to know something important. In the past 2 decades, in the past 20 years, you have done something that shapes who you are today. And these are relevant. These are relevant. If today you are standing in front of a yogurt booth, you would definitely know which flavor you would prefer. Now, I would like you to take out a pen and a paper if you have one, or just your phones, and write down this title. My Identity Capital. Identity capital is a collection of your personal assets that shapes who you are today. So let us do this exercise together. Done writing down the title? Okay, good. I want you to list out these 8 categories. The first one, your experiences. The degrees you are studying, the jobs you have done, and the clubs you are engaging in. Write it down as much as possible, as detailed as possible. Next, your interests. What do you like to do? For now, just write down the categories, and when you go back home tonight, think about it more details. Next, what is your strengths? Things that you are naturally good at. Next, weaknesses. The things that requires you to put much more effort and time compared to others to achieve the same level. Next, what is your priorities? I can see some people starting to reflect about their life. Wow, what I did in the past 20 years. Next one, your personality. You might be someone who is conservative, creative, or just crazy? Write it down. And the last two is your core values and your belief. Your core values and your belief. After you have listed out these 8 categories, I want you to ask one question. What is important to you in life? What is important to you in this life? What is important to you in life? What if I told you that if you really take time to sit down, breathe, and really think on your identity capital and these questions, I can guarantee you that these 6 flavors of your life is already on the table. And I believe in you, you are capable in picking the best for yourself. And dear explorers of adulthood, this is how I overcome my identity crisis back then. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have my life figured all out. I'm still in the process of finding what's my calling. But with this identity capital and these questions, my 6 flavors of yogurts become clearer and clearer. Do you guys know what is the easiest way to figure out life? Anyone wearing Nikes today? Alright, the slogan of Nike is, just do it! The easiest way to figure out life is just to do it. The things you think you might like, just do it. The sudden ideas and thoughts that popped out in your mind that might work out, do it. Consistently trying and do it. And you will soon find out your 6 flavors of yogurt is somewhere on the way. You cannot just think your way through life. You have to do something. And the only way to figure out what to do is do something. Dear explorers of adulthood, it might be overwhelming for a soon-to-be graduate, like why do I need to figure out this right now? But this is your time to claim your future. This is the time to start to figure out what's for you. There will be a gap in stepping foot into adulthood. But this gap is growth, adaptation, and patience. By building your identity capital over time and start to explore what is your 6 flavors of yogurt and pick the best one for yourself. Remember, adulting doesn't require uncertainty. It requires consistency. So my question for you, how will you turn your struggle into beauty? Thank you.
Thank you.